Thank you, everyone, once again for gathering. Before we get started on escape plans, I'd like to discuss the pigeon incident.
I don't know why we keep having these. We never come up with anything that works.
Jim's plan almost worked.
I guess it did give us the slap chop. And bless you, Billy Mays.
Well, that and Alex showed us the uvula, so at least now we know it's a whale trained in opera. All I'm saying is even if we haven't been freed yet, we learn a little something every time we put our heads together.
You're right. Maybe I'm being a little too negative. I mean, who made this guy leader anyway?
And I hope that no one thinks less of Alex for that. So anyway, who's got new ideas?
In Ishmael's tale, he used a casket to escape a rampaging Moby Dick. Anyone got a casket?
Pass. Next.
You know, last time I was in a whale, they at least had Wi-Fi so I could watch free run.
Have you guys tried the Pinocchio thing?
What?
The fire thing, you know, Pinocchio.
These newbies always think they have a better idea. Okay, pal. Now, I know you and your buddy. Wait, where is he anyway?
Oh yeah, he didn't want to seem like a dummy, so he went out and tried it before he offered it.
Wait, what?
Tisk. Such simple minds. We've tried over 1,000 plans and lost over 100 heroes in the process. Tisk, here, I was looking forward to your fresh ideas.
Oh, sanitation duty for them.
The ground is shaking.
You know, we were kind of doing this as a joke, but like...
What? Where did we end up? Is that a Yeti?
That's rough, buddy.
Good bits. We're here. We did it.
Bravo. Wonderful.
Bravo.
I love that voice.
I can't wait to hear what Lisp Brendan sounds like on recording. I'm sure he's going to be a real fucking riot.
It is beautiful.
You should continue it.
I will not, but I am worried that you can't actually understand a single word I'm saying, and it all just sounds like like a discount fe.
It's almost better than Uwu Justin. Almost
better than Uwu Justin. Oh well, shit.
Oh man, I love Uwu Justin.
We need more Uwu Justin.
We need Uwu Jordy.
Okay, wait, hold on.
Uh-huh.
Before you bring up the pitchforks, right? It's in the works. I'm mentally preparing. I'm mentally charging.
Oh yeah, well you've been mentally preparing for like 3 fucking years, buddy.
Yeah, this is a hard thing to do.
I've been waiting for this.
Jordy's out there with like a spirit bomb. Give me Uwu strength.
I'm pretty sure it's been longer since you proclaimed you would...
I never proclaimed this, okay? I was coerced.
Let me finish my damn thought, all right, buddy? This is my time. I have the talking stick. I think it has been longer since it was proclaimed that Uwu Jordy would grace our eardrums to now than it was since we started the cast and Uwu Jordy was on the docket. So you've had a lot of time to prepare, my guy.
I need somebody to go back and check at how many times I've done different voices in the last 6 years. And you're gonna get a total of 0 times.
I was just gonna say I didn't know where you were going with this, but I'm glad you gave them the correct number. It is 0.
It is not in the repertoire.
Jordy has 1 tone.
As a certified One Piece with a Lime fan, we want Uwu Jordy.
Oh my god.
As another One Piece with the Lime fan, I think that you have gone through like 3 different fan funding websites.
True.
Since you said you would do Uwu Jordy.
It might be another 3. Who knows?
There might be another 3 between now and when it finally happens.
So each one of them has its own faults. Don't blame me.
That's also true.
Back in my day, we used to have a Panda View.
Back in my day. Wow.
It's under construction.
Boomer over here. Back in my day. Hey, speaking of boomers, why don't you two... Hey, gentlemen, Yeah, we have two guests tonight. How you doing, guys? And please introduce yourself.
Oh, how do we do that?
Just say who you are, how you would like to be referred to for the duration of this podcast, and where you're from, and, you know.
Do you need my social?
Mother's maiden name? Yeah.
I don't.
My first pet, the high school I went to?
I'll tell you what, I'm going to help you here. Don't give me that on recording. Send that to me off recording, okay?
Bet.
No, give it to me on recording. I want to use it immediately.
No, not on recording. Not on
Hold
recording.
on, I've wanted to do this. Hey, Dave, cut that.
Boomer over here, back in my day. Hey, speaking of boomers, why don't you two, hey, gentlemen, we have two guests tonight. How you doing, guys? And please introduce yourself.
Nice.
Nice.
You want to get so many of those in a recording. You just used one up.
What? No. Okay. All right. So my name is Lemon. I am one of the hosts of Old Guys Watching Anime.
Yes.
And yeah, I'm excited to be here.
And I am Derty, the 9/18th of a host of Old Guys Watching Anime, and I am also happy to be here.
9/18ths. What are the chances that people listening to this podcast aren't actually proficient in fractions and math? Do you trust that they know that means that you are half a podcaster?
No, because I had to look that up myself.
Oh, well, that's good. Well, please, Old Men Watching Anime podcast. Thank you for joining us.
Well, wait. First of all, what are you watching?
Yeah, what are you watching right now, actually?
We are watching season 1 of Frieren, and as soon as we wrap that up, Dirty's gonna choose our next series.
Oh, Jordy is.
Huh?
Oh, Jordy? Nah, Dirty.
Oh, Derty. I'm sorry. I thought I misheard you then. I could have swore you just said Jordy to me, and I was like, oh.
Brendan's already casting. I mean, he's auditioning for the role of the third old man.
No, well, yeah. I mean, I don't need to audition. I am an old man. The part that I am not qualified for is who watches anime anymore. Unfortunately, my weeb card has been collecting dust in my cubby for the better part of the last 10 years.
Well, Brendan, on our series, we often talk about being certified. So how do you know you're a certified old guy?
Yeah, what pains do you have in the morning when you wake up?
Okay, so this is actually so real. I'm going to say I have at least 3 things that certify me as an old guy. Okay, number 1, the way my knees click when I squat. However, when I do this such movement, I wish I could just put the microphone right up to my knees. Brothers, it sounds like I'm making popcorn. And when I say it is the loudest snap, crackle, and pop, I've got all 3 damn Keebler elves sitting in my fucking kneecaps at all hours of the day.
Wow.
Cracking that boy. I promise you. I literally can't do it justice. Reason number 2, I'm not old enough to hate the younger generation, but I am old enough to hate a generation, and I won't expand more than that. I do actually believe there is a generational issue in life, and I will stand by that. Number 3, I hate raking leaves, and the proudest joy of my life was to not have a single fucking tree on my property that I would have to rake a single leaf on. I was very excited about that. You have no idea. Those are the 3 reasons that make me an old man.
He doesn't want you to know, but he really didn't want to confuse the leaf crackling over his knees crackling.
Yeah, it's also maybe there's a little truth there, actually.
So when you do your squats, how fast can you do them? And do you usually have a really nice upbeat song playing in the background?
I don't think it's as fast as the song that goes, "Nothing in my hand, running in my hand, nothing in my band, nothing."
It sounds like you don't believe in yourself.
You know, you might be right. I don't believe in myself enough.
Jordy, are you also certified old?
Am I certified old? I don't even know if I'm human. What do you mean?
I would say he has somewhat mature interests, but I have never seen this man suffer from the plagues of what the average oldie has. I think he actually takes very good care of himself, and he's built different. I've seen it time and time again.
Oh boy. If you could see my room right now, you'd think otherwise.
No, I don't think so, my brother. I think you are built a little bit different.
Oh, man.
He does have interests that make him a certifiable old head, if that alone is enough to give him the card. I don't necessarily know if I'm not the
Damn, I'm getting vouched for. That's crazy.
I'm not the one that writes the rules, but I'm going to say he does have old head interests.
We might give him a pass. We'll have to, go to the council and discuss.
I think some people would be like stolen valor, is all I'm saying.
I'm a spry 72, I'll have you know.
Yeah, come on.
Guys, what are we talking about?
Well, we were supposed to be talking about One Piece, but then I had to defend myself when it was challenged that I am an old person, and I wasn't going to take that lying down. That's on me. I'm so sorry. I got distracted. Hey, audience, welcome back. This is supposedly the One Piece podcast, and we're on the 4th episode of the live action. We should probably do a summary, and then we can do the other bits that we normally do, huh?
Does anyone other than Brendan want to take on this role?
Yeah, anyone want to do the summary? Any of you guys? It doesn't have to be me.
You know, Lemon's really good at reading summaries.
I read so good since first grade.
Sure.
We jump right into tension with the sudden mysterious appearance of Miss All Sunday. After a few jabs at the crew's ego, she offers them a compass to an all-inclusive pirate resort, a temporary sanctuary she claims. Luffy curiously takes the orb before squeezing it into smithereens as he stares into the soul of his enemy. That's right, Luffy. You can't trust this psychopath. Remember all the people she's murdered. After her departure, they end up sailing straight into Little Garden, a massive jungle swarming with prehistoric wildlife. While Zoro and Sanji compete to hunt a T-Rex, the rest of the crew meet Dorry and Brogy, two massive giants who have been locked in a 100-year duel triggered by a daily volcano eruption. Luffy respects their warrior pride, and Usopp completely idolizes them. The episode takes a turn when a bunch of vibe killers from Baroque Works bring a trap. They rig the giants' duel with explosives, kidnap Nami, and even manage to make Luffy emo. The episode ends as our heroes wake up to a horrific scene of being inside someone's attempt at minimalist interior decoration.
I didn't actually read that line ahead of time, and now all I can think of is an AMV of crawling in my skin.
Oh, jeez.
But with a live action Luffy.
This gum will not heal.
Oh, the hardcore Linkin Park hits with the freaking anime. Oh, man.
Dude, back in the day.
Take me back to like late middle school.
So what do we think of these episodes?
Yeah, that's what I was going to get at next. This episode, in fact. So we've been doing a thing with our guests. Well, first of all, I have my side question. Have you already seen the entirety of the second season, or did you, in preparation for this homework assignment, joining us this evening, only watching through episode 4?
Yeah, I only watched up to episode 4. I wanted to, not get too far ahead and get episodes confused, because I totally would.
How about you, Lemon?
So I did not watch season 1, so I had to binge all of that.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow.
I did not want to pay for Netflix. And then when someone reached out to me and said, "Hey, do you want to be on this podcast?" I said, "Yes." And they're like, "Okay, you have to watch the live action." I said, "Okay."
Good. You know what, gentlemen? Thank you for doing that and following those directions.
Does it count if I don't follow them?
Yeah, you can do whatever you want. You're also like the major producer. You have your own set of rules.
Listen, that was the test. You're supposed to be liable, you punk.
I cannot in good conscience hold you liable, because I know the things that you need to do to stay on top of things, and
Brendan, this is how people go mad. This is how anarchy happens. Tyranny.
Jordy is the teacher. He has to read ahead.
The day that you bring anarchy to this cast, I'm pretty sure is the day that it dies, and you know that. Therefore, it'll never happen. It just can't happen. Just kidding. Now, gentlemen, to the two of you, how are you enjoying the live action so far? You having fun? Having a bad time? You sort of like where it's going? Hate where it's going? What are you feeling?
Hey, Derty, is it okay if I get started on this?
No, go ahead.
Derty, can I take the floor? Okay, great. I hate it. Derty, it's your turn.
So, for a very vague disclosure, I work at a university, and a lot of what I have taught and what I have researched have been in literary and popular culture studies.
Sure.
So when I decided to watch the live action, I went in with the idea of adaptation theory. So buckle in, because we're going to talk about adaptation theory really quickly.
Sure.
And then we're going to talk about why it works for One Piece.
That sounds very smart.
I'm taking notes.
Okay.
I've actually opened my notepad now. Please continue.
Okay. And if you want, we can, I'm more than happy to give these notes out to the people, because I know everyone likes to go to school while they're listening to a podcast.
Can I get it in a PowerPoint?
Can you get it? Oh, I would love to make a PowerPoint. Are you kidding me?
You just made his day.
I spoke his fucking language. I think I just found his love language.
Oh, man. I'll be like, all right, here are our lesson objectives. Here are my slides. All right, here are my takeaways. But what about you? What are you taking away from today?
All right, please.
I think the wrong person playing the Poindexter in the bit.
It'd be like that sometimes.
I loved it because when I was listening to Brendan, I thought, man, it's like hearing myself.
That guy's kind of cool.
I disagree, by the way. You have a lovely voice, and it does not sound anything like whatever the fuck I botched earlier this afternoon.
Okay. So often the conversation about adaptations is about judging it. You know, the adaptation is not as good as the original source. So like the book is better than the film, or there's too much filler for anime. Starting in the 20th century to today, there's a lot of media theorists that take a post-structural look at this, and they argue that adaptations should not be evaluated based on authenticity to the source material, but rather through an idea of reinterpretation. So the idea of taking something and making a tribute, an homage, an illustration, or even sort of transforming it, critiquing it, revising, or subverting the original source. So this is often discussed in terms of media transfer, and I'll talk about that a little bit more lately in a second. But also this can include whenever someone takes a piece of media and they translate it to different historical moments or cultural contexts. So here are some examples. Have y'all read and or watched anything about Pride and Prejudice?
I have seen the movie.
Same.
Okay.
No.
No? Okay, no, that's fine. There is a Bollywood adaptation of Jane Austen's novel.
Yes.
Bollywood adaptation, of course there is.
Okay. I want to watch the Bollywood adaptation.
Oh, it's fantastic.
Where can I find that?
It's called Bride and Prejudice.
Okay, right, of course.
So you're taking this English novel, which is set in the Regency period of the late early 1800s, and you are translating it into late 2000s, early 2010s for an Indian audience. And yes, there is a huge Bollywood dance in it. So when we look at adaptation through that lens, it's less about, taking One Piece, for example. One Piece isn't doing this when it goes from the manga to the anime to the live action. It's more, okay, how are these creators, from Oda to Toei to the live action production crew, how are they making changes to the story? And I would say it's more of like an homage with slight sort of subversions. This brings me to my second point, which is the idea of media transfer. So the idea is that anytime you tell a story in a medium, there are certain differences or constraints. So when you move a story from one medium to another, you have to consider what can and cannot be done in order to tell the story. So when you take something like One Piece, it is a manga, so it's sequential art. And there's a lot of things that you can do with sequential art in terms of visuals and text, but you can't really convey action the same way that you can when you put it into an anime. At the same time, with the anime, there are certain things that you can't do in terms of budget, in terms of trying to keep up with the source material and the way that they adapt that. Then you get the live action or the film, and they can't do everything that was in the manga. They can't do everything that was in the anime. So they have to say, okay, what can we do in terms of getting actors and keeping true to the story while also making it its own in terms of short seasons? All right. Any questions before we move on? Sorry.
No questions yet. I am totally with you. Yes.
So displaying Miss All Sunday's powers early in this episode. In the original source material, I think I don't know how many issues, how many episodes of the anime before we get to see, her flower, devil fruit. For the live action, though, they showed her devil fruit back in episode 1 of the second season. And it's like, okay, no, for the time constraint of this live action, we need to show her powers early. We need to demonstrate the intrigue here. And then it makes...
Yeah, we gotta get the audience into it.
Yes. It's also playing within the constraints of the live action CGI budget. I got to be really honest, when in the first season, when I saw Luffy's powers for the first time, I said, wow, what is this CW nonsense?
I'll say this. I think it could have been a lot worse, but I do also agree that his first Gum Gum pistol in the first episode left a little to be desired. And I do think they're getting a little bit better. They're getting marginally better.
No, that said, I think that it actually benefits certain devil fruit powers when it looks a little janky, because when Buggy, Luffy, and All Sunday use their powers, it really leans into more of this body horror.
Yes.
Where it's like, oh, this is kind of disturbing to see on screen. Oh, that's probably what it looks like to the people living in this world. Another thing I really like about the live action adaptation is that it allows for this multinational cast. Oda in an SBS said that the crew has different ethnicities, different nationalities, and I think that the casting director and the production team said, no, we're going to try to find someone who is Latin American for Luffy. We're going to find someone who's Russian for Miss All Sunday. We're going to find someone who is Japanese for Zoro, and the list goes on.
Every medium requires a certain amount of change in order to benefit their own mediums. And now I don't necessarily know adaptation theory to the extreme that you do. Like whenever Justin and I converse over, we're always like, he's always upset if like the anime needs to do exactly what the manga does. And I'm like, brother, it's not that simple. Every medium has pros and cons, and it's okay to be a little different, and it's okay to change a little bit. You just need to find a way. You just need to find ways to service your medium.
So 2 thoughts here. One, that's why I really appreciate Gabe's fun facts. Shout out to Gabe. You do great work. That he's not really doing a contrast between the anime and the manga saying this one's better than the other. It's more, hey, there are differences here. The other thing is when we look at times when people have tried to adapt, it doesn't work out. So there are 2 examples. One that's from the early 1900s. A guy decided he was going to do a word for word film of a novel. It turned out that the final cut was 9 hours and it is lost. They're like, nope, this isn't going to work. But also, and I might lose some of your fan base here, Zack Snyder's Watchmen, it's a good adaptation of the original series, but I don't think it's a very good film.
Oh, yikes. That's a tearjerker. I do actually kind of like The Watchmen.
Sag.
That might be the only thing that Zack Snyder has done in recent memory that I can vouch for. But
I mean, everyone's entitled to their wrong opinion. That's true.
Everyone's entitled to their wrong opinion, Jordy says. Derty, I didn't forget about you. How you feeling, buddy? Tell us about how you feel about the live action.
Sorry, I just spent like $3.99 on YouTube to watch Brides and Prejudice. Sorry.
Okay.
Honestly, I thought Derty was that one kid in my class who falls asleep all the time because he's like, oh man, he's just lecturing. Come on, man, wrap it up.
Well, no, he's the kid who hyperfixates on that one detail that you said mid lecture. And then for the rest of the lecture, he just in one ear out the other because he will not stop until he understands or looks up this one thing that you mentioned.
So, yeah, no, I enjoy the One Piece live action. I enjoyed the first season. I have enjoyed the 4 episodes I have seen up to now. Well, I'll go with my first major critique, and it is going to be sort of related to our episode. It is the actress for Miss All Sunday.
Sure.
It's not her appearance. Her appearance is fine, whatever. She looks close enough. My issue is the accent.
The accent? What's wrong with the accent?
So when we first see her, there was no accent.
I don't know about all that, brother. I'm pretty sure she had an accent every minute that she's been on our screen.
I didn't notice it the first time. And then when she popped up in our episode, I was like, oh, okay. Huh.
Okay.
Because I took a mental note of the accent. I'm like, wait.
She definitely always had an accent.
I don't know. It was definitely not noticeable.
I'm going to disagree with you, Derty. I actually do like her accent. I'm mad that they cut out her giant turtle.
Oh, yeah.
They did cut out the giant. Okay, so this is where, and you know, you basically already said the biggest limitation of the live action adaptation, and that is budget, CGI budget. There is a character who unfortunately is very much not present in this part of the journey that is actually kind of a fan favorite amongst the community. And of course, it is Vivi's beloved duck, Karu.
Karu's understandable, but the turtle, I mean, come on, you've seen Jurassic Park.
Oh, for fuck's sakes. Really, guys? The turtle is that important to you?
And I'm double mad because they're like, oh yeah, Karu's not there. How dare they?
Yeah.
They could make some type of robotic-ish type looking thing. It could be like a giant paper mache turtle, make it look nice, and they can add all the movements and stuff. They have ways they could have done it.
Budget is budget. And honestly, I was impressed that we even got dinosaurs in this set of episodes. Like the giants are pretty easy to do with. You doll them up in some costumes, and then you play with some effects that make everyone else look small to the guys. I'm sure that's not that hard. But adding CGI T-Rex and CGI Stegosauruses in this episode, I'm sure was not cheap. And the whole island is also fucking CGI at that. That's another thing. But I did like the practical effects flower that they had for 5 minutes when Luffy was walking through the jungle. That was kind of funny.
It's very Little Shop of Horrors.
I thought the exact same thing. I'm like, feed me.
Look, if they could hire real life brontosauruses, they could get a turtle.
I think it's probably because the Turtle Union was like, you have to get more. And they were unwilling to budge on that.
I understand everyone's frustration not having the turtle. I also miss the turtle. People might not even know what we're talking about. Okay, so this is right after Whiskey Peak. Yeah, all Sunday is supposed to show up on a turtle at one point in time before she gets on the boat and taunts the straws and whatnot. That's a thing. And we unfortunately did not get it. Everyone pick up your pitchforks. The show's terrible. The adaptations is garbage. How dare they? Fucking, is that what you want, Lemon? Is that what you want the world to be?
No, I don't. I spent like 15 minutes saying, no, that's not the right thing to do. I'm just saying that
I know.
I miss my turtle.
All right. Well, I do understand. I miss the turtle too, buddy. I do.
Also, Derty, what are your other thoughts here? I'm so sorry, bud.
I'm not sorry.
Yeah, no, I really enjoyed it so far. It's all great. There's like little minor complaints you could nitpick, and sort of dig at, minus the fact that it's not a 1-to-1 of the anime.
I mean, it's really easy to just say like, man, I really wish it was a 1-to-1. But can I even go so far as to say there are some changes that they've made that I've actually been like, damn, that's good. 2 cases in point. Not having Luffy and Zoro fight for no fucking good ass reason back in Whiskey Peak.
Yes.
That was a good change.
Yes.
Yeah.
I love that.
Number 2, not offing Mr. 5 and Valentine early and letting them stay relevant for longer. I think throwing them away that early is only fun to children and not fun for storytelling.
Oh, Brendan, I'm so happy that you brought that up because I am enjoying the casting for Mr. 5 and Miss Valentine.
They're so good.
So good.
One of the lines that I wrote down for my quotes or whatever was when at one point he was like, man, I'm sweating in here. And she's like, you could take off your jacket, right? And he's like, I can't do that. It's a part of the look.
That is such a dope line. There's a certain jacket later on that I feel like that we need to bring that line back. We need to bring this line back.
With this line is going to be relevant for several characters for the duration of this franchise. Let's be so fucking for real.
2 thoughts. 1, you stole one of my quotes, but I mean, it's so good.
Sorry about that.
No, it's okay. I just, honestly, I'm such a big fan. I'm like, I just want to get sniped. I want to make somebody laugh. But also, how do you feel about Sanji spending so much time in Whiskey Peak and also in Little Garden out of his suit?
I don't know, man. His drip is still kind of on point. Did you see that like Fred Flintstone ass shirt that he had on? I don't know. Something about it was like, damn, dude.
Maybe some of them might agree with you, but there's a certain shorts outfit where I'm like, do we really need this one? This one feels a little weird. I think Zoro overall, just for being samurai adjacent, has like the best fit at the moment.
You think so, dude? He's got like pink shorts on, doesn't he? Blue shirt, pink shorts. That's your drip. That's your man's.
I don't know. It might be the sword. It might be the accessory of the sword. It might be the sword. I'm just saying.
I think you're sword blind.
Like the sword it might add like 200% more coolness. That's just me.
You are sword blind. I can. And a bucket hat. Dude looks like Urahara from fucking Bleach.
Dude, that bucket hat is what do the kids say? Fire?
It's bussin'.
You guys are crazy. Listen, I'm not going to say Zoro's drip is bad, but he does not clear Sanji in Little Garden right now. No shot.
Derty, I have a question for you.
Yes.
How are you feeling about Vivi?
Oh gosh. I knew it was going to come up at some point. Now, if you're on the One Piece with a Lime Discord, I'm pretty sure you know how I feel about Vivi.
Well, enlighten us, please, on recording.
Oh, I hate Vivi. I hate her so much.
Yikes. You hate to see it.
Least favorite character.
Oh,
she has the Sakura treatment, right?
Oh,
like what could be a well-written character just gets destroyed.
Can you expand?
Oh, I can expand.
Well, without spoiling though.
Oh no, I can still expand. Up to where we're at, she starts out when we first meet her, she is this Baroque agent. She's using her skill. She's effective with combat, this and that. But then as soon as she starts joining up with the Straw Hats, you can see her slowly decline to where she's more and more dependent. She was more of a suitable person, a fighter, a suitable individual who could handle things on her own. And now she's just like, not.
Jordy, can you hold this jacket? Except don't, because it's too good with the drip. Buddy, I think I have some choice words to say, because what you're saying to me doesn't sound like the same character I know. In fact, there's at least one point in time that we are not at yet that directly contradicts exactly what you're describing to me.
And there's like 40 other points that we haven't reached yet that work with what I say.
Okay, you know what? I'm putting my hands behind my back. I agree to disagree. I find this. I think I did hear in the grapevine that you were a little anti-Vivi. I didn't realize that the hate ran this deep, or even was real. To be honest with you.
Oh no, it is 100% real.
That's crazy.
It's just one of those things. It's like she had the potential to be such a really good, well written out character, and then it just disappears. She was better off as a Baroque Works agent.
You liked her when she was villain of the week? You did?
Yes.
Oh, man.
So, Derty, your original statement made me think you were talking about the live action version, but then I realized you were talking about the original.
No, yeah, he's talking about the character.
Oh, well, okay. So my question is, do you think there is better opportunity for the live action version based on like the first 2 episodes she's been in?
Yes, I see potential. Right? Like, I see her in the live action for what we've seen. I have seen the same sort of trend that I don't like. But I also see some potential for her to, maybe be a bit better. We don't get a whole lot with her yet, though. So it's hard to really tell. But I think she does have potential to be better in the live action than in the anime.
I'm going to jump in and I'm going to agree with that, because one of the positives is that we're getting some pretty good acting. And I think that we see in this episode, Vivi goes from unsure about this crew, and especially Luffy.
Yes.
And then it's very subtle, but when she drops Karu's name, rest in peace, buddy. Be there for season 3.
Be there for season 3, please.
She warms up and she shows more character. And then we get sort of her funeral for Igaram. And again, she's showing more emotion. She's showing more character depth. So I'm seeing that this is really good casting, and I'm going to really enjoy the live action, allowing the actor Charita Chandran to explore who this character is.
What I really liked about the way Vivi's developing here, like between her and Luffy, is with the line that Nami once said, like at some point you just kind of like something about Luffy, he's just worth being around. And the moment you get it, like you get it. And I think she started to get it when she was on top of the damn dinosaur with Luffy. And she was like, wait a minute, this is actually kind of rad.
Yeah.
She's talking about her homeland. They're talking about shit together. Luffy's like sort of making her open up a little bit. She's starting to like, trust people. I think this is a very darling way to build chemistry between Vivi and Luffy, who have up until like Luffy is, I don't want to say he's uncharismatic, but like unless you're already his buddy, he doesn't really have a lot of like situational moments with anyone outside the crew. He's just kind of like, you just kind of accept that he's this goon or whatever. So it's fun to see him like actually, communicate with somebody that's outside the main Straw Hats or whatever.
Yeah, and that's respectable.
If we can add on one other thing, I think also the funeral that she has with that handkerchief and she's remembering Igaram and Luffy showing a level of emotional intelligence, which up until this point, he's just walking around like a jackass. And all of a sudden, like he gets serious. He talks about, Igaram's a great man. I think that is also earning trust from Vivi.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. I would agree with that.
Okay, so you helped me define what I noticed in that scene, the Anderson scene. This is a situation where you have a cerebral person meeting a someone who's just in it for the vibe, in it for the moment. They don't really think too far ahead. And then someone who's like really from birth been told to like, hey, your actions have meaning. Like you can't do anything willy-nilly.
Yes.
So she's like, the conflict there is just two different personalities, and she has to learn that he's just going to do something. You can't, there's no like, hey, maybe we should like take a moment to think about, no. I'm going on top of that dinosaur and I'm having a blast.
Yes. And I'm going to have a great fucking time while I'm at it.
I think something about having someone not in the group join them, and then they're like, she doesn't get the inside jokes, guys. She doesn't know that Luffy's kind of strong, but also kind of a dummy.
Yeah.
Yeah, actually, yeah, you're right.
Definitely. 100%.
I think that very much helps the live action adaptation for this one. I think this is a good instance of like, maybe they can pull through. Maybe they have something in the works that we should look forward to.
Yeah. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. I have this note I took, and it really sort of ties in with the whole Vivi thing. But at one point, like, Nami goes off to find Usopp, and Vivi's just sort of stuck watching Luffy. And Luffy, so, okay, I've never seen it in person, but you've seen those like clips of like the moms with the kid on a leash.
Yeah, I am aware of these things, yes.
100% Luffy needs a leash.
Luffy does need a leash. Like he always has, but like you ain't putting him on a leash.
It really shows. Like they did a really good job showing like how just ADHD brain he is in this episode.
You do gotta be like that.
Because he's just like, ooh, what's this? Ooh, what's that? And
ooh, piece of candy.
You see Vivi just like, oh gosh, who am I with right now?
This is the captain?
This is the fucking captain? I mean, honestly, I question that all the time. And then I always say, I go and I look at him and I'm like, yeah, that's the captain.
If possible, I do want to return to something that Jordy said, which is, as I binged through season one of my biggest critiques was, wow, only Luffy and Usopp seem to be having fun.
Sure.
They're goofy, and Zoro and Nami in particular were really, the way they delivered their lines, the lines they were given were very sarcastic. I was like, this isn't, I get it. They're trying some sort of mood here, but season 2 has been really fun to watch in terms of letting these actors be a little bit goofier. So we get Zoro, we get Lost Direction Zoro in this episode.
We sure fucking do. Thank God. We finally got there, folks.
And we get bickering between him and Sanji that is honestly so funny.
It's good. We were discussing last week about how they're not fighting enough. This was a good episode for them, for all the haters out there that want Zoro and Sanji at each other's throats. This was a pretty good episode. They're bickering over who took down the T-Rex, and honestly, it's kind of up in the air.
Yeah, but before all that happened, there was that scene, and I just want to know if anyone else had the same image I did. So when they were like face to face, like getting ready to go down off the boat, and they're like face to face, I just imagine the Mike Tyson, now Kith.
I mean, all the Zosan fans are obviously going to be now Kith. So
is that the name of the ship? Zozan?
Mm-hmm. Zosan, yes, I believe so. But I will say we haven't even talked about the Giants yet, or we barely have. And Mr. 3 came up, so don't Mr. 3 and Miss Golden Week. So we still got a little bit more that we got to get into really quick.
Oh yeah.
How do we like the Giants? Giants are doing all right. I had a great time with Dorry and Brogy.
So my note on Brogy is open pores that I could dive into.
Yes. I don't know. When we first saw him, I was just like, oh my gosh, why does he look so weird?
I loved it.
But then we started actually seeing him. I'm like, okay, you know what? I respect the choice. I like it. It just like that first view, threw me off.
He is a giant who hasn't had any lotion for 100 years. Like
That's what I'm saying, dude.
everyone, make sure that you have a moisturizing plan, okay? Or else you're going to end up like Brogy.
Make sure you're wearing sunscreen every day. Otherwise, you will have pores as wide as Brogy's.
But I think their design, their characterization is so fun.
Facts.
They're such bros. And the way that they bond with the little pirate crew is just, it's really wholesome in a way.
I'd say that in Western media, the typical giant expectation is that they want to grind your bones to make their bread or whatever, right? Like Jack and the Beanstalk style. So I do kind of like that they nodded to that with Brogy and his interactions with Usopp and Nami until he was just kind of like, guys, I literally don't want to eat you. Like, why are you being so fucking weird?
That was so good.
Also, I really like that they provided so much of the ritual before they fight, because it's not this fight to the death, and Usopp really sort of hits on that several times in his dialogue. But they embrace each other, they drink ale together, they have all of these sort of chants and skull as a way of saying this is about honor, it's not about the fact that I hate you, which they don't. They end up being, buddies caught in a tiff.
The ritualistic nature of it, I think, is reading very well and is really fun for the audience in this adaptation for sure.
Oh yeah, the fight was so good. And then just having Luffy and Usopp just sitting back there like cheering them on and everything was just wonderful.
Unfortunately, though, it did come to an end.
Mr. 3 was so good in the live action.
I love Mr. 3, dude. He's doing great.
I like him way more in the live action than I did the anime. I didn't like him in the anime. The live action, oh man, I think he might be, as of right now, my favorite Baroque Works agent at the moment. Just because of how villainy he was.
He talks like a smug professor.
Yes, he sure fucking does.
He does.
When we first see him, it's like, I know that look. It's the summertime and I have to put on 70,000 coats of SPF 50 sunscreen. They made him so pasty white.
I find that to be really fun. So that was a creative liberty, by the way. Make no mistake, Mr. 3 in the anime manga it has a very normal skin tone. He just so happens to shoot wax out of his hands and stuff. But the live action took the liberty of making this dude pasty white. And, I really like that the live action took a One Piece character and made him look even goofier, and it still works.
Also, Miss Golden Week, so creepy in this episode.
I was just gonna say the same thing, and I like what they're going with, like the rub with her gimmick. We don't know what she's doing yet, but we're really starting to infer a little bit of what she's on about, and I like this angle that the adaptation's going for, where they're kind of keeping it mysterious. It also adds because they're supposed to be assassins, right? She's supposed to. They're all supposed to be assassins, even though they look goofy as shit because it is One Piece. Let's be so fucking for real. Five and Valentine are a little bit more like, we know we're tough, so we're just gonna brute force our assignments.
Ms. Golden Week's more like a horror situation. You just hear running and laughing, and the next thing you know, you act different.
Fucking Children of the Corn ass vibes over here.
Yeah.
Seriously. And that's another thing I really appreciated, was it reminded me of the Kuro episodes from season 1 and be like, oh, they're really
I agree.
leaning into the horror here, and Golden Week is very creepy.
I actually think I said this when we were on the One Piece season 1. I think the episode with Kuro was my favorite interpretation of that story arc. And I like what they're doing with Miss Golden Week and Mr. 3 right now.
And one thing I really liked, it was a funny moment when they were on the rock and Usopp was waving down the giants to stop the fight. You used to see Nami laying on the rock behind him, copying his movements. It cracked me up. for better terms, she seemed like she had, she ate an edible and then she forgot it or didn't feel like it was doing anything. So she ate another one after 10 minutes.
And now everything's spinning.
It's so funny because it's like Zoro also had an edible, but he's having a different reaction because he's just like laughing and slicing pomegranates because they're the most worthy of enemies.
I really like this weird shit they're doing.
It is really good. It is really good.
Now, I am surprised that we haven't really talked about Usopp that much because this is a very Usopp themed episode.
Agreed. I'm here for the Luffy and Usopp reaction to the duel, but honestly, I other than just being like happy that I'm getting this adaptation covering one of my favorite points in Usopp's journey when he realizes exactly the kind of person that he wants to be as he journeys on the open sea, and they managed to cover that beautifully. There's so many things also simultaneously happening that I'm like really sinking my teeth into. I almost can't savor the Usopp stuff yet. So I'm hoping that like I'll get some time to like really appreciate it when they reach the climax of this little side adventure over in Little Garden.
Yeah, I feel like Usopp's really like starting to build up, but we're not going to see his whole shebang until next episode.
Yeah. I think we're still building a little bit on Usopp.
This is where my rewatch helped because I watched it twice. Is that I could focus on Usopp, and there's so much there. When the party's first getting onto the island, Usopp looks like he's having a panic attack, like he's freaking out.
Right,
and he's like, "Okay, I can't do this." Then we have that really funny interaction between him, Nami, and Brogy. And, he gets that bass in his voice and he's talking about his 5-ton hammer. And as a watcher, I'm seeing his confidence grow. I'm like, okay, when he can lean in to his strengths, which are storytelling, and then having Brogy talk about, tales of bravery can earn a warrior's death. And then, we have the battle as well. I'm like, okay, no, this is a character development that I've really appreciated. But I agree with you, Brendan. I wasn't watching for that in my first watch. So I had to rewatch and be like, okay, what's Usopp doing here?
Looking back, I really appreciated the way that they wrote his character going from being terrified of going on the island into slowly coming out of his shell because Nami sort of giving him a little bit of encouragement to meeting Dorry and Brogy, and then we get the bit. I was here for it, but there's a lot of relationships simultaneously developing that it's hard to fixate on it so far.
It's a lot like watching or reading a manga where the panel's just super busy and you don't quite know where to direct your attention. So I think that in this episode, it was really beneficial for me as a viewer to have the triple party split where it's like, okay, Zoro and Sanji can go do their squabbling over here, and Nami and Vivi can have a moment, Vivi and Luffy, and then Nami and Usopp can come together and they can have sort of this heart-to-heart in this development together. It became easier to sort of focus when we got the crew separated.
Yes. Which is it's kind of counterintuitive.
They say don't split the party, but it worked out pretty well here.
I think splitting the party is always a good idea, even though Devin and Christian hate it. I think splitting the party is always necessary.
I hate it too.
You hate it too?
Thank you, Jordy. That's my king right there.
To a point, all right? Look, 3 manageable. When it gets to like 15, then I'm like, no, maybe we like dial that back a bit. Because they do it on rotation. It's like you get perspective 1 and 2, and you're like, okay, cool. And then they have to go through the entire rotation. And by the time you get back to 1 and 2, you're like, wait a minute. What is it? What's going on here again?
Dude, the best part about splitting the party, it's just like a D&D game. You always split the party until you get to the final climax.
Exactly.
I think we talked mostly about all the major elements of this episode, but I do have a burning question. Do you think that the visual aesthetic of the show is working? Or do you think some of the goofiness is taking you out of the moment?
If you jumped into One Piece blind, the One Piece live action blind, and you haven't, watched One Piece or read the manga or anything, you would probably be just like, what is going on? Of course, that's everyone's first reaction to watching One Piece in general, but I think they're doing a really good job with like the backgrounds, the sceneries, the designs, the costumes, or they may have some flaws and some issues here and there. I think overall it has been really solid.
I agree with that. I think that the word coming to me is camp. So
Camp.
in media, the idea of camp is it's loud, it's a little bit goofy, it's out there. It's the 1960s Batman, if you've ever watched that.
Sure.
Shabam.
Really leans into the goofiness. And so one of the struggles, I think, in season 1 was trying to find that balance of the production team saying, okay, we're going to adapt this anime. It's kind of goofy.
Kind is putting it lightly.
We know that we're going to bring in fans. How are we going to attract other people, other viewers?
Right.
And so I think season 1 kind of suffered from having sort of this split where Luffy's very goofy and over the top, and so is Usopp, and the other characters weren't really allowed to be that. Then with season 2, we do get more sort of, the costumes are a little bit goofier, and, you know, Buggy's dressed up as a lawyer, and Brogy has giant pores, and Mr. Three's hair is comics accurate. And at this point, the people who liked One Piece for its camp are like, okay, we're here. And those who watch season 1, they're like, where can we go from here?
I couldn't agree more.
All right. So you've stumbled into my trap card
Oh, this is the trap card? Oh, okay.
that I said at the beginning of this cast when I learned what media transfer was.
I see. Okay, go ahead.
All right. So I've now knowing what that means, it gave me a better way of phrasing this. Hit him. So I wrote a little thing here.
Oh, here we go.
Man, I love when Jordy writes something.
In the context of media transfer, would you consider live action adaptations similar to this one are criticized so harshly as a result of not leaning into the strengths of the medium, but rather trying to fit both styles into one? A notable exception that manages to make this actually work is the Sonic film series. They managed to keep the core of the source material and also give us Jim Carrey as
Dr. Robotnik, yes.
So the question is, would this adaptation have been better received if they didn't put so much effort to matching certain elements? Would Luffy's Gum Gum powers have worked better if they didn't stretch? And on a scale of Dragon Ball to Sonic, where do you think it would have fit? Because Dragon Ball did the complete grounding and they eliminated everything.
Yeah, Dragon Ball Evolution is garbage. And I'm glad that you brought this up so that I didn't have to say that. I think they have found the perfect blend of their camp as of right now. Now, perfect is relative. I think right now their blend is fantastic and it is serving them wonderfully. Maybe they could do it better, and I don't have the vision for it. But Dragon Ball, the Evolution movie, was trash because they didn't even bother to attempt to include anything that feels right for its franchise. Meanwhile, fucking Mr. 3 with his fucking haircut, and they're not even blinking. And I think it helps the fact that their CGI for things like Luffy's punches, which is still imperfect. The CGI for a lot of the Devil Fruits, still very imperfect. Casual shout out to an episode 2 when Luffy tried to punch Laboon from like a mile away and you could see his arm like kind of bending in the distance. That was actually a really cool effect that I do want to recognize the CGI people for including, because I think that one was actually obscurely probably one of the best Gum Gum pistols I think the show has ever had so far because of how real it felt. Now, that being said, something like Luffy's powers would not work if they didn't embrace some of the gimmicks in the characters, I think.
What Brendan said.
There are two types of people.
What Brendan said.
Yeah, you summed up my thoughts like perfectly.
I agree with Brendan, and I want to give a couple of examples of how they're staying true to the original source while also adapting it for live action. The first thing is Nami's outfits. They are very manga accurate, and I think there's a lot of attention given to that. But they are not necessarily always doing a shot-for-shot recreation of what it looks like in the manga or in the anime. And so I think that is a way for them to say, like, yes, Emily Rudd is a beautiful person, but we're not going to be putting her into fan service outfits that might not be I wouldn't say appropriate because that's the wrong term, but it would not be well suited for the adventures that they're having. I like that in the live action, there is the camp, but the producers are really hitting on different sort of genres, and that there are stakes that I know that I would believe that Devin and Christian really like. So we've talked about the horror, we've talked about the idea of romance or adventure with Luffy, and that's really sort of brought in. And they really drive home the idea of the motif of dreams and freedom much more in the live action than they do in early One Piece. I think Oda was still trying to figure out exactly what is my theme here. And then finally with consequences, we have the idea of death. We have Zoro cutting people up. We have Brogy dying in this episode. Unless in episode 5, he's fine. I don't know yet. I'm kind of getting lost in, what do you say, Brendan? Lost in the
minutia?
No, the sauce.
The sauce. Getting lost in the sauce. Yeah, no, it happens all the time. It happens to the best of us, actually.
I think that the live action is doing a good job of playing within the aesthetic and the look of this world, while also bringing in elements that ground it into a reality. Like Luffy, if Luffy punches something, it's going to look weird to you.
Yes.
If Buggy like pops his body, or if Alvida is using the slip fruit, it's gonna look a little awkward in real life. What are your thoughts though, Jordy? Because we've kind of like taken up time. What are your thoughts?
I find this is a classic instance of idea versus execution, and that there can be a billion ways to go about one singular idea, but in the moment of actually executing it, can you deliver what you set out to deliver? And at the moment, we're all pretty much on edge of like, what is their plan for this and that and that. We have the benefit of actually seeing it and like it being here, and we can study it and criticize it and pretend we know more than we do. But it's very difficult being in the seat of them. Like they had to actively create everything. Like every little thing had to be thought through. And now that they have it created, they're like, oh, maybe we don't do it like this. Maybe we change some of this. Like Nami's hair changed between seasons because they realized that it just needed a little improving. The Zoro didn't change his personality, but I saw a little laugh this time around.
he's laughing. We don't know if it's from like personal choice, but he's laughing.
It proves that he can laugh. He can laugh, everybody. He can laugh.
He can laugh.
I guess pomegranates are just a really funny fruit.
Yeah.
And pomegranates are a very fun fruit to be cutting in the middle of the woods.
Say when I think of a question like that, I personally go, okay, I see what they did, and I have the benefit, which means I have the advantage of being like, I would have done this, I would have done that. Like maybe if we do this differently. I think that's very much a difficult question to answer, and there's really no right answers because
there's no right answer.
Brendan said he loved it. I personally am like, I feel like they're just missing a big core element here that's going to bring it all together.
Man.
Yeah. I think visually they have it. Powers aside, I personally don't like Luffy's power. It always looks off.
I do sort of agree with the Luffy bit, but I think it could look a lot worse, and I really do want to shout out that one time he tried to punch so that shot was perfect. I don't know what they did differently to make me really like that shot.
It's perspective.
It was perspective. I mean, that's really what it came down to, was perspective.
Yeah. They can play around with that more. Yeah.
They need to play with more perspective, I think, with Luffy, so that I don't scrutinize when he's so center stage. But also that can be kind of hard because like he is the main character.
Yeah, I have a different position in that I can sort of know how to like make certain shots. So like the way I consume media is less how did I enjoy it and more like, oh, I saw they went with this method. Like what if they did this and differently and all that. So it's less about enjoying, more about like the actual process. So that's like a question I personally can never answer. Like, how do you enjoy this thing? I'm like, what do you mean by enjoy? Let's start with the word enjoy.
Can you define the word enjoy for me?
So what you're saying is that you're not going in as a consumer of the media in terms of the product, but you're coming in as a director or a producer to say, okay, how are they creating this? What can I know about how the back end is done that is impacting sort of what is the finished product that I see? And that's sort of where you're evaluating. Is that sort of a fair way of saying?
It's definitely like they went for listing, and I know how difficult this part is. So the end product, I think somewhere in there was just off. Like there's something they're going for here, and I think I haven't found that spark yet. A good instance is the establishing shot of the island of Little Garden. It just sort of cuts into it. I think I personally was like, damn, they really just went from Missile Sunday to cut to the island. Like they could have had like a little lizard on the beach, and then it like blurs out, and then you see the ship in the distance, and then the music crawls in. And I'm like,
sure.
Please.
They lost a little bit of the cinema.
I needed some spice in there. And like common criticism I have throughout all these episodes, and even in season 1, is just I need more like hype music. The music's a character. Please give me some tunes. There's the good ones here, but I need that we are on repeat 6 times.
Not to spoil anything, but I am aware of a track in the live action that we have not heard yet that I believe comes in during Little Garden, and it is kind of fire.
It is somewhat played in this episode as incidental music.
Was it? I couldn't even hear it.
That's why you got to rewatch it, man.
Damn it. Fuck.
Oh,
You know, that's your problem, Brendan. You watch it once and you never go back, right?
Yeah, you've never rewatched One Piece, dude. You got to do that.
I got to rewatch. Well, I've rewatched One Piece the anime 3 times, in fact. Well, I guess, yeah, three and a half, kind of.
well, it sounds like you need to rewatch the One Piece live action at least 3 times then.
I do probably need to rewatch the One Piece live. Honestly,
We need a 1-for-1 ratio, dude. You need to watch the live action like 80 times.
you joke.
Oh.
I didn't hate the first season. I could, like, by the time season 3 comes out, brother, I might do a fucking rewatch. That sounds like a fucking plan to me.
So this is what you have to do. You have to read the manga first,
Okay,
the included chapters, and you have to watch the anime.
brother.
Then you're going to have to watch the live action.
No, I'm not doing all that. Each adaptation gets its own binge-worthy opportunity, okay? I'm not in the mood to binge the manga right this second, nor the anime, but I might be in the mood to binge the live action. That might be something I'll do.
Oh, fair.
And then you have to like re-listen to the podcast episodes about the One Piece live action.
Ah, hell. Yeah, I guess there's that.
How many times have you re-listened to your own podcast?
Shoot, I can promise you that I have at least a 1.25 average on our podcast. That I can damn near promise you.
It's good stuff. I highly recommend that people listen to it.
Yeah, no, I listen. I'm a vain motherfucker. I love my podcast. Our podcast.
It's okay. It's okay. You don't got to listen.
Jordy's over here in the background. No, you don't have to listen.
Shut up, Jordy. We want people to listen. Anyway, now my final question, which is kind of a 2-parter, so I guess it's not really 1 question, it's more 2 question. Do we feel that things are working in its favor? Things that are not? What's not working? You know, I feel like we've asked a lot of like baited questions towards what you like about the show. What is not working? Lay it on me. Lay it to me straight. Give me it. Give me something you hate.
Lack of turtles.
Right. Beyond the lack of turtles. Beyond that.
Kairo's pronunciation.
That's right. They said Peru.
Yeah.
Yeah, they call him Karu.
I do think Karu feels a little better. I ain't gonna lie to you.
No.
Look. You should hear me butcher like every single name we talk about in our podcast. Names are hard, okay?
Karu does sound like something that came out of Aladdin, and if you haven't seen the actress who plays Vivi, that sort of makes sense.
Karhu?
Karu.
Karhu?
Hard guru.
Karhu?
Oh my god, are you gonna do this bit until I say Karu? Is that what you're doing? That's what you're doing, isn't it? Go ahead, do it. Say the line.
No, shut up.
Oh, Karu! I'll do it for you. Don't worry.
I need Luffy to just stumble upon Karu and just be like, "Ooh, look, it's you, Karu." And Vivi's like, "No, it's whatever. I don't know. I forget the other pronunciation."
Hey, it's Karu. And then she's like,
That's how much I hate it. Can't even remember it.
it's Karu. It's not even that hard.
It's so bad.
Oh my god. All right. You know what? Maybe I don't like this question. I think I want to move on from this unless you guys have anything to bring.
I do have a couple of things. I think that they have, in between the seasons, addressed some of my concerns about the lack of sort of like moments in which the other members of the Straw Hats can be goofy.
Sure.
They've done that. I think the biggest worry that's not working for this live action is just the sheer amount of source material.
Expand.
Realistically, how many seasons and how many arcs can be adapted?
Well, I mean, listen, that's an interesting question. So apparently the filmmakers or Tomorrow Studios have already pitched to Netflix their roadmap, their quote unquote roadmap. They suspect that they could adapt 50% of the franchise in 6 seasons and the next 50% in 12. That is what they pitched. Now, those keeping track at home, the source material is not even done yet, and we're not sure when it's going to be done. But supposedly Tomorrow Studios has already accounted for that. So their big pitch is 12 seasons, which I think is lofty, to say the least.
That is incredibly ambitious. You have to take into account these actors are aging in real time.
Yes.
I think that what they have done so far is good to great. I think that maybe realistically they can finish Alabasta.
Mhm.
If they get to Sanji needs to die,
When they get where?
Yes.
bleep me out.
Listen, I'm just trying to keep it spoiler free for the live action people. When they get to the place after Alabasta, you say?
Yeah, when they get to the place after Alabasta, I think that a Straw Hat should die.
Oh,
Oh, okay. Well, that seems like a stupid thing to say out loud.
Why?
Why would you say that?
Well, I heard it once from a wise person. I was like, you know what? That makes sense.
Jordy, I hate your memes. You know that?
It's not a meme. It's an opinion.
I don't think it's a meme.
Right. I guess that's fair. It is an opinion, not a meme. You got me there.
His character would have been a billion times better if he had died there.
You're a bastard. I hate you. And I don't like that this opinion of yours is spread like a plague throughout our community.
It would have added so much to the series.
It would have been. What are you talking
It
about?
would've.
We would have lost one of the better characters in the show.
Consequences.
better? That's debatable.
We would have missed out on arguably one of the better arcs in the afterwards.
My second favorite arc of all time, by the way.
I mean, Oda would have written in like, oh, you can just join and replace them.
Yeah, we could have had someone cooler.
You suck.
There are so many great characters.
You know, Oda would have done it.
He would have done it too. I know he would have done it. I'm sorry. Lemon, additional thoughts. Continue.
No, just in conclusion, I think what's not working, or perhaps a better way to rephrase that, is what worries me about the live action is just the sheer amount of source material
Right.
has to be adapted, and you have to take into account how people are aging in real life, whether or not Netflix is going to want to do that ambitious 12 seasons. Honestly, I don't think it's feasible, but that's me thinking like Jordy.
I think they can pull it off. If they continue at this pace,
Yes.
now what they'll be able to put off is the actual adventure. They will not carry the same timeline. I think that timeline would be extended. Like the timeline in the show at the moment, the anime or the manga even, that's going to have to be extended. Like the time they spent sailing is going to dictate them aging.
Yes.
Okay.
I would also agree with this take. I think they can so this is where they're going to just inevitably deviate from the source material. These characters are going to age and in real time. I do actually think, part of me almost thinks that it could even be better for the show if the straws age over a lengthy journey, because it almost makes it feel so much more real that way. Whereas in the manga, they haven't aged a day. Well, that's not entirely true, but don't worry about the logistics. The Pokemon syndrome, like fucking Ash Ketchum, who has been doing the same fucking Pokemon Master journey for the better part of 20 fucking years, and he's still a 10-year-old. That's just the way anime be sometimes, because they're too afraid to age up their characters to make them less relatable for the young audiences that they're pitching the show to in the first place.
The other worry, and I think this goes back to something Jordy mentioned earlier about just wanting a little more world building. I think that in the rush to try to adapt so much source material, we're going to lose out on some of the slice of life moments that are happening in the manga. And I think that's one thing that I think fans of One Piece coming into the live action are really wanting, is sort of those quiet moments of camaraderie, or those goofy moments in the kitchen, like in episode 1 of the second season, where Usopp makes fun of Sanji with his beautiful chiseled jaw. I was like, this is so funny. This is what I want in this adaptation, are more moments where the crew is being goofy with one another.
I think they are doing it, but I agree that I think as they continue to adapt, they're going to find less and less time to enjoy those slice of life moments. But as of right now, I don't know, man. They're still finding a little bit of time to throw these like one-liners and, gaggy parts of characters in from time to time. And I can't fault them for it. So I got to give them some credit where credit is due. I mean, they've made Mr. Five one of the funniest motherfuckers I have in the anime, and he barely had a presence in the original run. Let's be so fucking for real.
Also, Miss Valentine has been elevated by this adaptation. She's
True.
Get it?
oh, okay, I just got it.
Sorry, I had to do it. He had to do it to him.
No, it's okay. I think that some of the criticisms that I know the One Piece with the Lime crew have had in the past with Miss Valentine, I think the live action is allowing her to be more of a character and to show off more of her powers. And also her wardrobe is so good. I'm like, my last name's Lemon. If I had a daughter, I'd be like, hey, you want to...
Wait a minute. That's really funny. I forgot about this part. I didn't even think... This never even crossed my mind.
I think I could get these like whole lemon slices for earrings. I'm like, that's really cool. Thank you, Miss Valentine.
Oh my God. That would be awesome.
Welcome to One Piece with a Lime with Lemon. I think we interrupted Jordy. I think Jordy was also going to not defend, but talk more about Miss Valentine and how the live action has allowed her to flourish.
Did I? Hold on. What? I actually liked her in the anime.
Actually, I do think you defended Miss Valentine once upon a time, which is fucking wild behavior. Jordy also sometimes just has the contrarian take to be the contrarian. I think that was one of those times.
No, when it's an actual contrarian take, I go, yeah, that was a meme. That was a meme. I don't really care about that. But this, no. I like a lot of the villains of this series that people usually don't like.
What is there to like about Valentine? All she did was laugh and be heavy a couple of times.
Is there anything else to ask for, my good sir?
I guess not. I suppose not.
Can a man not have simple tastes?
Brendan, are you weight shaming Miss Valentine?
I'm not weight shaming, but I'm just, listen, I am just explaining that.
You just weight shamed.
You did.
Okay, you know what? Listen, I'm moving on from this. Okay, no more questions. I don't want to hear any more of your thoughts. You know what I want to do next? Unless you guys actually really have like unless you have a hankering to talk about anything. I'll give you the floor one last time. Otherwise, I will move this on.
Bucket hat.
I'm good.
Okay, we did it. We got there. Guys, it's that time. It's time for quotes. Can someone please give me some quotes? I promise I won't snipe you. Please go first.
My first quote is from Luffy, and he says, I want to ride one, when he sees the brontosauruses. It cracked me up. I laughed real hard.
Okay.
Have you ever seen something like this?
No, Luffy. I've definitely never seen anything like this. It's a prehistoric island. Navigating between the islands and the Grand Line is so difficult that I bet this has stayed untouched for thousands of years. Since the age of...
I want to ride one!
I don't know why, but it just took me out. I was like, I like that. I'm writing that down.
Fair enough.
And then my other quote, I don't eat people. The only thing I'm starved for is conversation. That's why I wanted to have you for lunch.
God, you sniped him.
Wait. You're not going to eat us?
Is that what you thought? I wanted to eat you.
Yeah, absolutely.
Seem purposeful.
I don't eat people. The only thing I'm starved for is conversation. That's why I wanted to have you for lunch. Have you for lunch. I hear it now.
Have you for lunch. Or whatever his laugh is. I'm not good at the One Piece laughs.
Yeah.
Dude, that killed me.
I feel it, dude.
I died. I had to be resuscitated and rewatch it again so I could write it down.
I'll go next. Anytime Miss All Sunday says Monkey D. Luffy,
Yeah, dude.
Monkey D. Luffy.
she has a great mix of menace and also just condescension. Like this guy. Sanji talking about Zoro. Well, finesse is a virtue that you lack.
When I want to kill something, I just go out and kill it.
Yeah, well, finesse is a virtue that you lack.
Yeah.
How much finesse did it take to get tied up in Whiskey Peak, huh?
I was about to escape from free Usopp when you showed up.
Sure you were.
Usopp telling Nami, I don't want to be stew.
Humans don't tend to survive long on Little Garden.
Because they get eaten by giants.
Gosh, I am starved.
Nami, I don't want to be still.
We did not come all of this way to die in a cave. We just need to find a way to escape.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a good one. That's a good one.
It's a simple thing.
Luffy making friends like a kindergartner when he's like, we both love meat and we're both pirate captains.
Hold up. Are you a pirate?
Indeed. Captain of the giant warrior pirates.
We both love meat and we're both pirate captains? What are the chances?
Oh, and Yaki just kills it with that.
Yeah, no, I feel that.
Brogy hitting Usopp with the life lesson, even in death, our warriors live on through tales of their bravery, much like your own Captain Usopp.
Even in death, our warriors live on through tales of their bravery, much like your own Captain Usopp. And a heroic death in battle is the ultimate expression of courage.
Oh, man, it's so good. Oh, and then finally, Zoro giggling, the pomegranate is the most formidable opponent.
There you are. What the hell are you doing?
Training. The pomegranate is the most formidable opponent.
So stupid. It's good bits. It's good bits.
I sort of want to go slice some pomegranates now.
It bothered me that Zoro was chopping through the forest with his katana, with his sword. I'm like, man, you're a swordsman. You're using your sword wrong. Get a machete, dumbass.
He's already got 3 of them. You might as well just use the ones he's got.
Yeah, but ferns are, a sign of weakness for swordsmen. I don't know.
Jordy, you want to go first, or is it my turn?
When Zoro and Sanji are bickering, Sanji just drops him. Baking and cooking are entirely different culinary disciplines with distinctive techniques, don't you know?
Why don't you stick to baking cookies?
You know, baking and cooking are entirely different culinary disciplines with distinctive techniques.
It's so good.
I didn't write that down, but that is a fire line.
He's being annoying about it, but he's right.
I have 3 that I will share, minus 1 that was sniped. I just wrote Vivi talking about Alabasta. She's talking about the chef that'll make you anything your heart's desires any time of the day, and the beautiful garden, the most beautiful garden you've ever seen at the top of the palace, and her just like being infatuated with her, where she grew up and stuff. Very, very, very endearing.
In Alabasta, we ride ducks.
Huh?
My loyal duck companion back home was named Karoo.
Wow. Ducks? I don't think I've ever met a duck big enough to ride. Well, actually, I don't think I've ever met a princess either. Do you live in a castle?
I live in a palace in the capital city of Alabarna. It has secret passageways and the most beautiful rooftop garden you've ever seen.
Next, you can take off the jacket. And then he says, of course I can. It's part of my look, as we've discussed. Fantastic line.
You do know you can take your coat off.
No way. It's part of my look.
And this one comes from Mr. 3, of course. Help me dispatch the giants, and I'll recommend Mr. Zero not kill you. At least not for this.
Help me get rid of the giants, and I'll recommend Mr. Zero not kill you. At least not for this.
Just a great line.
Oh, yeah.
Just fun.
I should have wrote some more of Mr. 3's lines down, but I was just so distracted with the anime, I forgot to write them down.
I mean, to be fair, he had a pretty short presence in this episode specifically. My guess is that will not remain true for the next.
I'm excited to see him in the next one.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Yeah, I agree. I think the way that the episode ends with them trapped in the poorly decorated wax house, I'm like, I want to watch the next episode, but I won't because I'm a good noodle.
Moving on to the golden ham. Who's going to get the golden ham? I think this one's a little tough. I'm a bit partial to Vivi. I ain't gonna lie to you. But also, I fucking love Dorry and Brogy, bro. Can we just give it to Dorry and Brogy?
Okay. Well, this is gonna be a stretch, but now hear me out.
Get it?
Aizen.
No. I don't know who you think you are or what you think you're doing, bringing Bleach into my One Piece, but no, you may not.
Bleach? No. I'm talking about Aizen from Frieren, the dwarf that, was part of the original party.
Brother.
The greatest character of all time.
He also lives by a warrior code. Yo, it's good.
Yes. Warrior code.
No, go back to your own fucking podcast with your own fucking memes. This is our podcast. We have our own memes here, and it doesn't involve Frieren.
I know. So reality, I'm on the Mr. 3 chain here.
Really? For just this small showing? I don't think he's been here enough. I don't know. For me, he was just such an improvement from the anime. He is fire.
Just from that little bit we've seen, he's seems so more menacing and way more just like I said villainy before, but he's just, he's like, all right, you guys do this. He's like, I don't know. He seems more like an evil mastermind in this, at least from what we've seen. I'm just like, I'm really digging that. But I mean, I can be swayed.
Well, I mean, it's a democracy.
I didn't really have anyone that was really, really too standouty.
I had sort of a similar thought process that Derty had when I thought, what is the character that maximized their time on screen? Someone who really just took those scenes and chewed them, drew my attention.
Mm-hmm.
Zoro's bucket hat.
Oh my fucking God. Yes. What is wrong with you people? You all suck. You're never being invited again.
Okay, if that's a little too abstract for you, I get it.
Lemon, you are allowed to double down, and it is funny. Make no mistake. What you're doing is funny.
So if it's not Zoro's bucket hat, Usopp.
Don't you mean Lord of Destruction?
I think he had the most character development.
Yes.
I think this is a Usopp-centered episode.
I'm so tempted to agree with you, but I'm also I'm thinking about what I said earlier and how I love everything with Usopp, but have we gotten all that we need for the Usopp stuff to feel full? I just don't know yet. Jordy, where are you at? I think we're all on different answers right now.
Miss Valentine.
Miss Valentine. All right. Well, unless we want to go to numbers for 4 characters, somebody's going to have to bend. Although I am willing to bend for Usopp. Let's be so fucking for real.
I could honestly go pretty much anywhere. Like I said, no one, Mr. 3, I just felt like he was way more, he was an improvement from the anime. But when it comes down to it, I'm pretty open and flexible with this decision because no one really stuck out too much in this episode for me.
Wait, Derty.
I'm just devastated that we're not going to consider Dorry and Brogy because of how just awesome they are in general. But I get it. I understand. I'll be in the minority camp.
Derty, maybe you won't vote for Usopp, but will you vote for Lord of Destruction?
Oh, Lord of Destruction. Yes, I'm down for Lord of Destruction.
Okay.
You know what? I'm calling it. I think Usopp, the Lord of Destruction, Captain Usopp, Lord of Destruction wins. In fact.
Lord of Destruction!
Are you sure not the bucket hat?
Can we have that 4th pomegranate from the right?
Boy.
It actually looked very succulent.
I'm writing it down. I wrote it down. It happened.
It has been decided.
Captain Usopp, Lord of Destruction. Anyway, we did it. Woohoo. Congratulations.
Yay.
No offense to Ms. Valentine. I do love her character adaptation. But
you almost persuaded me, Jordy.
Miss Valentine.
All he did was ask you again.
I'm beginning to think that Usopp character didn't fight a mole person with a 5-ton hammer.
Listen, don't overthink it, buddy. Don't overthink it. Anyway, moving on from the Golden Ham, we would normally have a grab bag section, but instead of that, we're doing something special. We're doing a little tiny interview for our guests here. Question for you. What are you currently obsessed with that isn't One Piece? Something that instantly makes you lose track of time. And Derty, I know you have a lot.
Oh, you're going on me first. Well, okay. Actually, I have something, and I experienced this yesterday. So I'm gonna go with this because this is like the freshest thing that has stolen time from me, and that is Dave the Diver.
Oh my fucking God, Dave the Diver!
Yo, I've been sleeping on this game, and finally I was like, you know what? It's on PS, on the PlayStation Store.
Yep.
Like it's probably gonna get taken off soon. I really need to just try it.
Just give it a chance.
And I got sucked in. I played almost all day yesterday. Like. I was just so zoned in. I could not stop. I don't know what it is about it.
It's a comfy game, man.
It's like real basic of a game. It's just like real cozy. It's real funny. It's just like
it's a comfy fucking game. I get it. No, I trust me. I understand.
I got sucked in. I was like, man, why didn't I play this before? Like, I've been thinking about it all day at work. Like, I mean, I just want to go home and play some more Dave the Diver. Like, I almost like called in sick to the podcast. I wouldn't do that, but yeah, it was.
Are you sure? I don't know if I believe you.
Nah, 100% would be here. But yeah, that sort of took my time.
Okay.
Of course, tomorrow's going to be something different, but
Yeah, no, I know how quickly you go through new things.
too quickly.
Lemon, your turn.
The two things that I'm watching right now that have taken my time are The Pit.
Love The Pit. Big fan, by the way.
And Frieren, both second seasons. And in fact, I did a little rant about this on our podcast, Old Guys Watching Anime, where I'm a little peeved that so many people that I know that also watch The Pit have chosen not to start the second season until a batch of episodes have sort of built up so they could binge them. And it bothered me because I'm like, I grew up in a time when you got to watch maybe one new episode a week, and that's what you talked about with your friends.
Right.
And so I'm missing that level of engagement that I think that The Pit and the Frieren creators really wanted when they chose to release weekly. And so I've been trying really hard on the Discord server to make sure I don't talk too much about season 2 of The Pit, because I know Brendan, you and Justin are also watching it, but let me know, and I really want to talk about it because it's so good.
I will say I am current to season 2.
Oh, you are?
Yes, I originally was going to wait until the entire thing dropped, and then like 6 weeks went by, and I found myself with a rare abundance of free time, and I was like, well, I want to watch the fucking Pit, so I chose to watch the Pit.
Describe in one word your reaction to season 2.
One word. Shoot. Okay.
Up to 3 words. 1 to 3 words.
I don't want to give the wrong idea. Can I compare? Can I give you a different one? Can I say a quick comparison between season 1 and season 2 that I've noticed that I don't necessarily think is for its betterment or detriment yet?
If you're okay with sort of a rant or an old man tangent, absolutely.
Yes. Listen, I think season 1 is literally some of the best television of all time. Season 2 is great television. And I'm only giving it great right now because season 1, I think the stakes were so fresh, and the drama that made up the hospital was like so visceral and like unique for a time. Like, we didn't have a Grey's Anatomy for the longest time to like fill this void in modern television. Season 2's come out, and I think it's not that it's more grounded. There's just a lot more expectation for it, but they're also simultaneously unpacking characters at an incredible rate. Like, I am so much more invested in individual characters in season 2 than I ever was in season 1. Like, there was only like 3 or 4 characters I really cared about in season 1, and in season 2, I'm caring about each of them almost like the same.
I would agree with you. I think that the way I would describe season 2 is emotionally exhausting. Because after I watch an episode, I just have to sit there with sort of these emotions and unpack them. And then I read reviews, and then I rewatch the last episode before the newest one drops on Thursday. And I'm like, okay, this is taking a lot. And that's why I want to talk to people about it.
Yeah. All right. Moving on to my second question. If you were given a magical button that would permanently delete one food item from existence, ruining it for everyone else on Earth just because you didn't like it, what are you destroying?
Can I make it 2 ingredients and explain why?
I'm going to say yes.
Sour cream and mayonnaise.
Oh.
And let me explain. So
there goes half of our cuisine as white people.
You just got rid of like every fat in existence, brother. Because like everything comes back to dairy, sour cream, and mayo. They're basically in this. I guess.
Don't worry. By the end of this story, I'm going to take out a 3rd food item. So
my man hates fats. Holy shit.
I love fat.
I know where this is going.
Yeah. When I was a teenager and young adult, I worked in a steakhouse, and I worked in the kitchen, and I did everything. One of my duties when I was a prep cook was preparing salad dressings. and ranch was the most popular of the salad dressings in this city. So we made it by the gallon. And so I even now I'm getting triggered. That's why I can't watch The Bear, by the way, of taking gallons of mayonnaise and sour cream and putting them into an industrial mixer and, trying not to get it into my arm hair or onto my hands, but it happens. And just smelling like it and looking at it and just thinking like, this is the most disgusting thing. If people knew how this was being made, they wouldn't order ranch.
I see.
To this day, it is a joke in my family. I'll just disclose, I've got kids. They make fun of me like, oh, dad hates sour cream. I was like, damn straight I don't like it. It's disgusting.
You could have just destroyed the ranch, and then you create a universe where when people put mayonnaise and sour cream together, it just turns into nothing.
Well, no, because by themselves, they're disgusting. I don't like mayonnaise. I don't like sour cream.
Fair.
Brought together like Wonder Twin powers, it's taken to another level, which I know from my Midwest people, you might be mad. I don't care.
I actually can't stand ranch. That's me personally. I'm also not the biggest fan of sour cream or mayonnaise either, but I'm not here trying to put a hit on them. Well, we now live in a world where mayonnaise and fucking sour cream have gotten the bullet. And you know what? Maybe we're better for it. We probably should get rid of some of the crappier fats.
Honestly, get better condiments.
Derty, what are you destroying?
Okay. I mean, yeah, it's easy. Avocado.
You would destroy avocado? What did avocado ever do to you? Guys, why do you hate fats? Holy shit.
I just don't like avocado. And I know how, defensive people are with avocado, so I just think it's hilarious.
Grow up.
Like, I don't even have that big of a deal with avocados. It's funny seeing how really pissed off people get when you say you don't like avocado.
Y'all suck. You know what? I'm never asking this question again to people.
You know what? One day you're going to go to your doctor and he's like, listen, man, you got to cut back on your fats. You got to, take care of yourself.
And I won't have avocados in my diet, a very healthy and nutritious fat. And my alternative is going to be fucking butter with a shit ton of cholesterol in it. What have you done to me?
What about eggs?
You're welcome.
All right. That is my second question. I have one more for you guys. Are you ready? This one's the most profound of all, so be prepared. If you were a playing card, what would be your rarity, your effect, and what image would you like there to be featured on it?
So I'm taking playing card as in like any sort of like TCG, right? And so for my mind, I go straight to Magic the Gathering, right? Because that's probably the card game I know most of.
Sure.
And so, okay, it'd probably be like forest card, most likely.
Okay.
And so I have this image as a handsomely chubby guy finishing up a 5K.
Nice. Love that for you.
I'm running, I look miserable, and I'm just bigger dude.
Sure. Beautiful.
And so that would be the image. It'd be most likely a forest because usually trample goes with forest, and that's going to be the effect is trample straight up.
Trample, baby. Let's go. Yeah, go ahead.
And it's probably a common a super common card. I'm probably like a 2/1, with trample. I probably cost like maybe 2 mana, most likely just 1. It's just a common basic card, but it's one of those like common cards that's like very underrated.
Sure.
And most people do have in their decks.
Yeah, maybe like in addition to trample, it also has like a scry effect or something like that. That way it has like a little extra utility, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Definitely trample. That's like the big thing is trample. That's just like the first thing I thought of when I saw this question. I'm like, that's perfect. That fits perfectly.
Sure. I love it. Honestly, I feel like you've had this question before. You were so ready for that. In fact,
I've just been like really focusing on my Magic the Gathering collection right now. So
like you not only knew the effect you wanted it to have. The thing that shocks me the most is the image and the fact that you were like, yeah, I think I want it to be forest. Yeah, that feels right. Like
that sort of goes with trample, right? Trample really goes with like a lot of forest cards.
That's true. I am aware that trample is on that. All right, Lemon, please.
I thought I had a good idea, and then throughout this episode, I think I've triggered Brendan the most.
Okay, you haven't. Let the record show you have it. This is normal Brendan reaction. This is for content. Don't worry.
I think that the image of mine is a version of me with my arms out for like a hug.
Aw.
And the effect is need a hug.
Lemon.
And it would remove mana or aggression, however that's played out in the TCG. And I honestly think the rarity would be common, but I'm just really happy to be in someone's deck.
Aw, that's cute. I like that.
You would be in all of my decks, even if I didn't have the right mana source, you would be in there.
You'd get a playset spot no matter what, I promise you.
To use it, you actually have to give a hug to your opponent with consent, of course.
With consent.
I wouldn't take it that far, but...
That's where you draw the line? Oh, okay, fine. Yeah, fuck us, I guess. Who cares? Yeah, that sounds stupid, actually.
No consent.
Stupidest fucking thing you've ever said, in fact.
No, I mean, I started saying that, and then Derty brought in the consent. Because if I were playing a card game and someone's like, hey, you need a hug, I'm like, listen, man, I'm not that needy. Stop playing that card.
Well, you should have thought about that before you made a card where its only effect is giving a hug.
No, I didn't make that condition. Derty made that condition.
Right.
I just said that it would be something to help lessen the aggression.
But with your arms out. And what does it usually imply when you have your arms out and your goal is removing somebody else's aggression?
Well, okay, fine. Here's another one. It's me in cargo shorts and white New Balance with a pair of tongs.
Aw, shit.
And it's need a hot dog. And it's another common card. And the effect is that it just makes people hungry. But does that mean I'm going to have to carry around hot dogs in my cargo short pockets to give people... to slap someone with a sausage?
Yes.
Yes, it does. It does, actually.
It does?
Dude.
It does.
The glizzy pocket? Yeah.
Glizzy pocket? What is wrong with you?
That's what you should call a pig in the blanket. A glizzy pocket. Oh my word, Derty.
Oh, I hate it. What have you guys done? You can't be brainstorming.
This is a really good investment opportunity.
Okay, right. Yeah, this is a good investment opportunity. You know what? I'm done asking questions to you guys. Thank you for answering. You did great. I'm very happy to have had you tonight. Blah, blah, blah. Insert script here. Something. Oh, hey, tell people about yourselves.
So that's a no.
No, you've got a no from me. Anyway, I'm trying to close our podcast. Can you please tell the people who you are one more time before I blow a blood vessel?
All right. Hold on. Gotta get my podcaster face on.
Mm-hmm. You didn't have that on all night.
Well, I just lost it.
Right. Okay. Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, I get that.
It's a very special mascara that he puts on for fierceness.
Right. Of course.
All right. Yeah, again, I am Derty, 26th host of Old Guys Watching Anime.
Yes, and I'm Lemon, the other co-host of Old Guys Watching Anime. If you like the cut of our jib, please give us a listen. We are watching Frieren right now. We're going to be going through smaller completed animes moving forward.
Hell yeah. Jory, is there anything else we got to do? Help me out here, buddy.
That's it.
All right. You know what? I'm glad that you guys joined us. I'm glad we could be here.
This was a great time.
Maybe I do want to invest in this fucking glizzy cart, though.
Seriously?
Yes.
You're starting to sell me on it.
Glizzy sauce? It's going to be pickle juice and mayonnaise. Oh no. Took that out of the world.
You did take that out of the world. We do not have mayonnaise. Yeah, no, that's fine. It's okay. We got all the mustards we could ever want. Honestly, I want to be a mustard only kind of condiment anyway. Maybe hot sauce. That's fine.
Ooh.
Ketchup, ass.
Well, I mean, come on now.
No, it's ass.
Not that bad.
Ass.
If you add, some spice to it, we could have some flavored ketchups.
Then you're making barbecue sauce.
Oh, would you look at the time, guys? I'm going to head out. I got to go to, I just got so much stuff I got to do tonight. All right, it was really nice talking to you. See ya.
So, Jordy, Glizzy Pocket, are you in?
I don't know where this is going, so I'm gonna hold off.